Ladies and gentlemen, there is a moment in every woman's life when she realizes she was never meant to sit still. She was never meant to shrink, to be silent, or to wait for approval. The day she chooses to rise, to walk forward despite fear, despite obstacles, that is the day she becomes truly dangerous. This kind of woman cannot be controlled. She cannot be silenced. She cannot be stopped. And this terrifies the world. Because the moment she stands in her true power, everything changes. Shackles break, chains fall, the limits placed upon her by society, by fear, by doubt disappear. She becomes a force that nothing can contain. The woman who walks is a woman who refuses to be defined by her past. She refuses to be held back by opinions and imitations or expectations. She has seen the darkness, she has felt the weight of doubt, but she walks anyway. Every step she takes shakes the very foundation of those who once underestimated her. She does not wait for opportunities, she creates them. She does not ask for permission. She takes action. She does not fear rejection. She knows rejection is often redirection towards something greater. A woman like this cannot be ignored. You feel her presence before she speaks. She does not beg for attention, yet all eyes are drawn to her. Because a woman who walks is led by something greater than herself. She walks in faith, she walks in authority, she walks in confidence. And when she walks, mountains move, doors open, and miracles unfold. But understand this, her power does not come from external validation. It comes from within. It comes from knowing who she is and whose she is. She has tapped into a source that never runs dry, a power that never wavers. This is why she is dangerous. Because a woman who walks alone. And that is why she will always win. A woman of purpose is unstoppable. When she understands why she was created, when she grasps the depth of her calling, nothing can stand in her way. She does not move aimlessly, nor does she allow distractions to pull her away from the path set before her. Her purpose fuels her, gives her strength, and keeps her grounded even when the world around her shakes. She does not waver because she knows that she is here for something greater than herself. The moment a woman discovers her purpose, she becomes a force that cannot be contained. There is something different in her walk, something unshakable in her spirit. She no longer second-guesses herself. She no longer asks for permission to exist fully in her power. She moves with a certainty that unnerves those who once thought she would remain small, timid, and afraid. She is not the same woman they once knew. She has awakened to the truth of who she is meant to be. When a woman is driven by purpose, she no longer seeks approval. She does not wait for someone to tell her she is capable because she already knows she is. The doubt that once held her back no longer has power over her, and fear no longer paralyzes her. She understands that she has something valuable to offer, and she will not allow anything to keep her from fulfilling her destiny. Her steps are deliberate. She walks with conviction. She understands that every moment of hesitation is a moment lost, and she refuses to waste the time she has been given. There is a fire in her heart, a vision in her mind, and a determination in her soul that no one can extinguish. She sees beyond temporary obstacles because her purpose gives her clarity. She does not allow setbacks to define her. She sees them as setups for something greater. When a woman is unstoppable, people notice. They feel the shift when she enters a room. She does not have to demand attention. It follows her naturally. She does not have to prove herself. Her presence alone is proof of her strength. She does not allow negativity to penetrate her mind, nor does she entertain those who seek to diminish her life. She walks with confidence, not because she is perfect, but because she knows that she is enough just as she is. There is a divine energy that surrounds a woman who walks in purpose. She attracts opportunities, not because she chases them, but because she aligns herself with them. She does not run after success. Success finds her because she is on the right path. She understands that when she moves with intention, everything she needs will come to her in due time. She does not rush, but she does not hesitate either. She listens, she discerns, and she moves when the time is right. A woman of purpose does not compete. She creates. She is not threatened by the success of others because she knows there is enough room for everyone. She uplifts, she inspires, and she empowers those around her. She does not allow comparison to steal her joy, nor does she let insecurities dictate her choices. She stays true to herself, knowing that her path is uniquely hers and cannot be replicated by anyone else. She understands that challenges will come, but she does not allow them to break her. She sees difficulties as opportunities to grow, to learn, and to strengthen her faith. She does not run from hardship. She faces it head on, knowing that everything she overcomes adds to her wisdom and resilience. She does not crumble under pressure. She rises, she adapts, and she keeps moving forward. A woman who walks with purpose is unstoppable because she is connected to something greater than herself. She does not rely solely on her own strength, but on the divine power that guides her. She trusts that every step she takes is leading her exactly where she needs to be. She does not let doubt creep in because she knows that she has been chosen for something meaningful, something that will impact the lives of others. She refuses to shrink herself to make others comfortable. She does not apologize for her ambition, her intelligence, or her drive. She does not lower her standards to fit into spaces that were never meant for her. She knows that she was not created to blend in, but to stand out. She embraces her uniqueness, knowing that it is the key to her success. No matter how many times she has fallen, she rises. No matter how many times she has been told no, she keeps pushing forward. She does not allow rejection to define her worth, nor does she let failure stop her from trying again. She knows that persistence is the key to unlocking every door that was meant for her. A woman who walks with purpose is unstoppable because she refuses to be anything less than who she was created to be. She does not let fear, doubt, or opposition hold her back. She moves with confidence, she speaks with authority, and she lives with intention. She understands that her purpose is bigger than her circumstances, bigger than her past, and bigger than the limitations others have tried to place on her. She is a warrior, a visionary, a leader. She is bold, she is fierce, and she is fearless. She does not just dream, she acts. She does not just hope, she believes. She does not just exist, she thrives. And because of this, nothing and no one can stop her. Her faith makes her fearless. A woman who walks with faith does not rely on what she sees. She relies on what she knows deep within her soul. She understands that fear is an illusion, a shadow cast by doubt, but she refuses to let it dictate her steps. When she moves forward, she does so with a confidence that cannot be shaken, because she knows that she is guided by something greater than herself. She is not afraid of the unknown, because she knows that every step she takes is leading her toward her purpose. Fear loses its grip when faith takes control. This woman does not hesitate when opportunities arise. She steps boldly into them, trusting that she is equipped for the journey ahead. She does not look at obstacles as barriers, but as stepping stones to something greater. She understands that challenges are not meant to break her, but to strengthen her. She welcomes the trials, knowing that each one is refining her, making her wiser, stronger, and more prepared for what is to come. She is fearless because she does not put her trust in the opinions of others. She knows that people will doubt her, criticize her, and try to discourage her, but she does not let their words take root in her heart. She is not swayed by negativity because she knows that her destiny is not in the hands of people. It is in the hands of something far greater. She walks with her head held high, not because she is arrogant, but because she refuses to let doubt control her mind. She has learned to silence the voices that tell her she cannot, and instead listens to the voice within her that says she was made for more. This woman does not allow failure to intimidate her. She understands that setbacks are part of the journey, that mistakes are simply lessons wrapped in experience. She does not fear falling because she knows she will rise again, stronger and more determined than before. She does not see failure as the end, but as a new beginning, a redirection towards something better. She refuses to let temporary defeat define her success. She gets back up, dusts herself off, and moves forward with even more determination. She's not afraid of rejection. She does not need validation to know her worth. She does not beg for acceptance or approval because she is already secure in who she is. She understands that rejection is often protection, that closed doors are simply guiding her to the right one. She trusts the process, knowing that what is meant for her will never pass her by. She does not dwell on what did not work out because she knows that something greater is on the horizon. Fear does not control her decisions. She does not let anxiety keep her trapped in comfort zones that no longer serve her. She is willing to take risks, to step into the unknown, to embrace change even when it feels uncomfortable. She does not wait for the perfect conditions to act. She moves forward with faith, believing that the way will be made clear as she walks. She understands that true growth happens outside of comfort, and she is not afraid to stretch herself beyond what she thought was possible. She is fearless in the face of adversity. She knows that storms will come, but she does not let them shake her. She has been through battles before and she has come out stronger every time. She knows that the challenges she faces are not meant to destroy her but to reveal the depth of her strength. She does not run from difficulty. She faces it head on, knowing that she is never alone. She stands firm, unwavering, knowing that she has already been equipped with everything she needs to overcome. This woman does not fear the future. She does not let uncertainty paralyze her. She does not waste time worrying about what is to come because she knows that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. She understands that every delay, every detour, and every disappointment has a purpose. She does not need to have all the answers to move forward. She trusts that the answers will come in due time. Her faith makes her fearless because it reminds her that she is never alone. She knows that she is guided, protected, and supported in every step she takes. She understands that her journey is not just about her, but about something much bigger than she can see. She walks with confidence, not because she has everything figured out, but because she knows that she is being led towards something extraordinary. She refuses to be held back by fear. She refuses to let self-doubt rob her of her potential. She refuses to shrink, to settle, to play small. She steps boldly into every opportunity, knowing that she is meant for greatness. She embraces the unknown, knowing that the best is yet to come. She does not just believe in possibilities, she lives in them. She is the woman who walks without fear because she walks with faith, and when she walks, nothing can stop her. She refuses to be controlled. A woman who knows her worth does not allow anyone or anything to dictate her life. She does not surrender her power to the opinions of others, nor does she allow their expectations to confine her. She moves through life with a deep sense of self-awareness, understanding that her decisions, her choices, and her path belong solely to her. She does not let society, culture, or tradition place chains around her destiny. She stands firm in who she is, refusing to conform just to make others comfortable. She is not swayed by manipulation. She recognizes when people try to control her through guilt, fear, or obligation. She does not allow herself to be pressured into being someone she is not. She has learned to say no without guilt, to walk away from toxic relationships without regret, and to stand up for herself without hesitation. She does not entertain those who seek to use her for their own benefit. She understands that love is not control, respect is not submission, and true partnership is not about dominance but about mutual growth. She refuses to let her past define her. She does not allow the mistakes, failures, or pain of yesterday to hold her back from the future she is creating. She understands that she is not the same woman she once was. She has grown, she has learned, and she has evolved. She refuses to be trapped by regrets or by the expectations of those who knew her before. She does not allow past heartbreaks to make her bitter, nor does she let past disappointments steal her hope. She moves forward with strength, knowing that she is in control of her narrative. She does not allow fear to dictate her choices. She refuses to let the fear of failure stop her from trying. She does not let the fear of rejection keep her from speaking her truth. She does not let the fear of judgment silence her voice. She understands that fear is merely a test of her faith, and she chooses faith every single time. She knows that the only way to grow, to succeed, and to fulfill her purpose is to push past fear and keep moving forward. She refuses to be defined by society's standards. She does not live to please others, nor does she seek validation from those who do not understand her journey. She does not measure her worth by how much she is liked, by how many people approve of her, or by how well she fits into the mold others have created. She knows that she is worthy, powerful, and enough just as she is. She does not need to prove herself to anyone. She does not ask for permission to be bold, ambitious, and unapologetically herself. She does not allow toxic relationships to hold her hostage. She recognizes when someone is draining her energy, manipulating her emotions, or keeping her from reaching her full potential. She does not allow love to become a prison. She understands that true love does not seek to control but to empower. She walks away from relationships that no longer serve her growth, knowing that her peace is more valuable than any connection that requires her to diminish herself. She refuses to be controlled by circumstances. She does not let difficulties define her. She does not let setbacks discourage her. She does not let unexpected challenges shake her confidence. She understands that life is unpredictable, but she also knows that she has the power to adapt, to overcome, and to thrive. She does not waste time complaining about what she cannot change. Instead, she focuses on what she can control, her mindset, her actions, and her determination. She does not allow negative thoughts to take root in her mind. She understands that her thoughts shape her reality, so she guards them carefully. She refuses to entertain doubt, insecurity, or self-criticism. She speaks life over herself, reminding herself daily of her strength, her worth, and her potential. She does not allow negativity, whether from herself or others, to take residence in her heart. She fills her mind with faith, courage, and confidence. She does not let time pressure her into decisions that are not right for her. She understands that her journey is her own, and she will not rush just because the world tells her she should. She does not allow the ticking clock of life to push her into relationships, careers, or commitments that do not align with her spirit. She trusts her timing, knowing that everything will unfold as it should. She moves at her own pace, confident that she is exactly where she needs to be. She refuses to be a prisoner of expectation. She does not let family, friends, or society dictate who she should be, what she should do, or how she should live. She is the author of her own story, and she writes it boldly, without apology. She does not compromise her dreams to fit into someone else's vision of success. She does not shrink herself to make others comfortable. She stands tall, owning her space in the world with pride and confidence. She is a woman who is free, not because she has no challenges, but because she refuses to be bound by them. She does not let fear, doubt, or other people's opinions control her. She does not let past mistakes define her. She does not let obstacles stop her. She is in control of her mind, her emotions, and her destiny. She moves with power, knowing that she was not created to be controlled. She was created to be unstoppable. She is unstoppable because she does not wait for permission to be great. She does not ask the world if she is allowed to rise. She simply does. She does not seek approval to pursue her dreams, to embrace her power, or to step fully into her purpose. She understands that waiting for permission is another form of delay, another way to stay stagnant. She refuses to let hesitation rob her of her destiny. She knows that if she does not take control of her life, someone else will try to. She is a force that cannot be contained. She does not allow limitations, whether placed by others or by herself, to hold her back. She does not listen to the voices that tell her she is not good enough, not smart enough, not capable enough. She does not give those voices power over her life. She moves forward with certainty, even when the path ahead is uncertain. She understands that action is the only way to break through fear. She does not wait until she feels ready. She acts now, knowing that readiness comes with movement. She refuses to settle for a life that does not fulfill her. She does not accept mediocrity when she knows she was made for more. She does not stay in places that shrink her, relationships that drain her, or environments that suppress her growth. She is willing to walk away from anything that does not align with her highest self. She understands that walking away is not weakness, it is wisdom. She does not cling to what is familiar just because it is comfortable. She knows that growth requires discomfort and she embraces it fully. She is relentless in the pursuit of her purpose. She does not let setbacks deter her. She does not allow failure to define her. She discomfort. She understands that every great achievement comes with challenges, and she is willing to face them head on. She does not make excuses for why she cannot succeed. She finds solutions. She does not waste time dwelling on what went wrong. She focuses on what she can do next. She moves forward, always forward, because she knows that persistence is the key to success. She does not let rejection stop her. She understands that rejection is redirection. She does not take no as the final answer. She does not let the opinions of others dictate her worth. She does not seek validation because she knows that true confidence comes from within. She does not need to be chosen. She chooses herself. She does not sit around waiting for someone to recognize her value. She steps boldly into her own greatness. She walks into every room knowing she belongs there. She does not let the weight of her past hold her down. She refuses to be burdened by mistakes, regrets, or old wounds. She understands that she cannot move forward while clinging to what was. She releases the past with grace, knowing that it has served its purpose. She does not dwell on things she cannot change. Instead, she focuses on what she can build. She understands that her future is far greater than anything she has left behind. She is not afraid of change. She does not resist growth even when it is uncomfortable. She understands that transformation requires shedding old versions of herself. She does not cling to outdated beliefs, toxic relationships, or limiting mindsets. She evolves constantly because she knows that stagnation is the enemy of success. She is willing to let go of anything that no longer serves her highest good. She does not fear the unknown. She embraces it. She creates opportunities when none exist. She does not wait for doors to open. She builds her own. She does not wait for someone to give her a chance. She creates her own path. She does not rely on luck. She relies on her own determination and resilience. She does not wait for the perfect moment. She acts, knowing that perfection is an illusion. She moves with boldness, knowing that the only way to create the life she desires is to take action. She is a woman of strength, a woman of courage, a woman who refuses to be stopped. She does not let fear paralyze her. She does not let doubt control her. She does not let obstacles break her. She moves with power, with purpose, with an unshakable belief in herself. She understands that she was not created to be ordinary. She was created to be extraordinary. She steps fully into her greatness, unapologetically and without hesitation. Did you know that some of the most successful people in history faced countless rejections before achieving greatness? Walt Disney was told he lacked imagination, and Oprah Winfrey was once fired for being unfit for television. But they, like the unstoppable woman, refused to be defined by others' opinions. They pressed on, and so does she. She knows that her power lies not in what others say about her, but in what she believes about herself. And she believes that she is unstoppable. She is a woman who moves with an unshakable faith, a deep knowing that she is guided by something greater than herself. She does not waver when life presents challenges because she understands that every obstacle is a stepping stone to something bigger. She walks with confidence, not because she has all the answers, but because she trusts the journey. She does not need to see the entire path to take the first step. She knows that as she moves forward, the way will be revealed. She does not allow doubt to consume her mind. She has trained herself to replace fear with faith, worry with trust, and hesitation with action. She knows that the moment she lets fear dictate her choices, she gives away her power. She refuses to live in a state of uncertainty, waiting for external validation or the perfect moment. Instead, she moves with certainty, knowing that divine timing is always at work in her life. She understands that if she is called to something, the way will be made. She does not wait for everything to make sense before taking action. She trusts the inner voice that tells her to move. She's not concerned with how things appear to the world. She does not measure success by what others think of her journey. She knows that people may not understand her decisions, and she does not need them to. She is not here to please the world. She is here to fulfill a purpose. She understands that her vision was given to her, not to those around her. She does not expect everyone to see what she sees, and she does not let their doubt weaken her faith. She knows that as long as she stays true to herself, the right opportunities, people, and doors will appear at the right time. She does not dwell on mistakes or regrets because she knows that everything happens for a reason. She does not waste time questioning why something didn't work out. Instead, she trusts that every detour is leading her somewhere even greater. She knows that rejection is not a reflection of her worth, but a redirection towards something better. She does not live in the past. She moves forward with faith, knowing that what is meant for her will always find her. She is a woman of deep inner strength, a strength that does not come from external achievements, but from the quiet certainty within her soul. She does not need to prove herself to anyone. She does not need validation from the world because she has already validated herself. She knows that real power comes from within, from believing in her own potential before anyone else does. She does not wait for others to recognize her greatness. She walks in it daily. She does not shrink herself to fit into spaces that cannot hold her. She takes up space, knowing that she belongs wherever she decides to be. She does not fear the unknown. She embraces the mystery of life, knowing that the most beautiful things often come from unexpected places. She does not resist change, but welcomes it with open arms. She knows that comfort zones are meant to be broken. She does not allow herself to stay stagnant because she understands that growth is a continuous process. She does not cling to the familiar just because it feels safe. She moves forward even when the future is uncertain because she trusts that she is always being led towards something greater. She is a woman who sees possibility where others see limitations. She does not listen to the voices that tell her something is impossible. She has learned that every great success story begins with someone who refused to accept defeat. She does not see obstacles as roadblocks, but as challenges to overcome. She does not back down when things get difficult. Instead, she pushes forward with even greater determination. She knows that the only limits that exist are the ones she refuses to break. She does not allow fear to silence her voice. She speaks with authority because she knows that her words carry power. She does not allow the fear of judgment to hold her back. She understands that if she is going to make an impact, she must be willing to stand alone if necessary. She does not change herself to fit into a world that does not understand her. She remains true to who she is even when it is not easy. She walks with a certainty that is both captivating and intimidating. She does not apologize for her confidence. She does not tone herself down to make others comfortable. She does not seek approval because she knows that the only approval that matters is her own. She is a woman who moves with purpose, power, and unwavering faith. She knows that as long as she trusts the journey, she will always be exactly where she is meant to be. She is not afraid to walk alone, for she knows that solitude is not loneliness but a sacred space where transformation happens. She does not fear being misunderstood, for she understands that not everyone will grasp the depth of her vision. She does not seek the approval of the world because she has already approved herself. She is dangerous not because she harms, but because she refuses to be controlled. She cannot be manipulated by fear, silenced by doubt, or swayed by the opinions of others. She walks with an inner fire, an unshakable confidence that cannot be dimmed. She does not hesitate to leave behind what no longer serves her. She does not cling to relationships, places, or situations that drain her energy or dull her spirit. She does not stay where she is not valued. She knows that sometimes walking away is the most powerful thing she can do. She is willing to be alone rather than settle for less than she deserves. She understands that detachment is not coldness but wisdom. She lets go with grace, trusting that what is truly meant for her will never require her to beg, to shrink, or to compromise her worth. She does not move aimlessly. Every step she takes is intentional. She does not walk just for the sake of movement. She walks with purpose, with conviction, with an unshakable faith in where she is going. She does not wait for the world to catch up with her. She leads, she pioneers, she breaks new ground. She's dangerous because she refuses to be passive. She does not sit and wait for life to happen to her. She happens to life. She does not wait for permission to step into her greatness. She claims it as her birthright. She's a woman of unwavering belief, not just in herself, but in the power of what is unseen. She does not need to see the entire staircase to take the first step. She trusts the journey even when the path ahead is unclear. She walks by faith, not by sight, knowing that her purpose is greater than her fear. She does not let uncertainty paralyze her. She embraces the unknown with open arms, knowing that everything she needs will be provided at the right time. She does not waste time worrying about things beyond her control. She surrenders, she moves forward, she thrives. She is dangerous because she does not fear rejection. She does not need to be chosen. She chooses herself. She does not wait to be invited into spaces. She creates her own. She does not seek validation, for she knows that her worth is not determined by external approval. She does not allow the opinions of others to dictate her path. She does not lower her standards for the sake of acceptance. She does not need to prove herself to anyone. She already knows who she is, and that knowing is enough. She is a woman who has faced adversity and come out stronger. She does not dwell on past pain, but she has not forgotten what it taught her. She has been through storms, but they did not break her. She has walked through fire, but she did not burn. She does not live in bitterness or resentment. She has transformed her wounds into wisdom. She does not seek revenge. Her success is enough. She does not carry anger. Her peace is her power. She is dangerous because she refuses to let her past define her future. She does not settle for mediocrity because she knows she was not created for an average life. She does not accept a life that feels small or uninspired. She does not waste time on things that do not align with her purpose. She is focused, she is disciplined, she is unstoppable. She does not get distracted by noise or negativity. She keeps her vision clear, her goals high, and her standards even higher. She does not engage in meaningless battles. She does not allow drama, gossip, or envy to pull her away from her mission. She moves with clarity, knowing exactly where she is going. She is dangerous because she does not let fear dictate her actions. She does not let the fear of failure stop her from trying. She does not let the fear of judgment keep her silent. She does not let the fear of the unknown keep her from taking risks. She understands that courage is not the absence of fear, but the decision to move forward despite it. She has mastered the art of walking boldly into the future, trusting that she will figure it out along the way. She walks with a quiet power, a presence that demands respect without ever needing to ask for it. She does not boast. She does not seek attention. She does not need to prove her strength. Her confidence is not loud, but it is undeniable. She does not rely on words to make her impact. Her actions speak for her. She does not chase, she attracts. She does not beg, she commands. She does not wait, she creates. She is dangerous because she is fully awake, fully aware, and fully in control of her own destiny.